Hi, welcome back to another one of our cooking demonstrations. In this one we're going to be looking at more economical dishes to cook. I'm going to start off with a slow cooked cooker chicken dish. The slow cooker is really great, so if you get up in the morning you just want to get a meal done, just into it, and then it can be ready for 5 o'clock. It depends on which style, how slow you want it, how quick, but really, like for this one's going to take us about 3 hours to do. And so possibly ready for lunch or afternoon, so therefore it'll give you a little bit more time. And again, this is quite quick and easy to put together. Maybe some green vegetables. And it's simply the chicken, going to fry it off into the hot cooker with some new potatoes that I've blanched off. And then the spice I'm going to use is a little bit of cinnamon, soy sauce, honey and tomato ketchup. And then the juice is going to come out of the chickens as well. Okay, so nice hot pan, and these are nice big sized chicken thighs. I do think one of these per person will be quite enough. And also this dish, it can work out about 95 kilo portions between the chicken and the vegetables and the sauce as well. And this is also English free-range chicken as well. There's a lot of controversy about should you use a butcher or should you use the supermarket. Personally, you should be using both. Take it, preheat the cooker. This I'm going to pop it at the bottom. Just flatten them all out. Nice and brown. I've got a small amount of salt on there because I've got some soy sauce in here as well. Again, if you need any of these recipes, just drop me an email and I can pop them over to you. So, there's the chicken in there. And they're sitting there all beautiful and comfy. And then just mix all that ketchup, soy sauce, honey and the spice and pour it over it. And I'm going to add a few dashes of lime juice. In this series as well, you might notice I'm going to do some shortcuts, and these little bottles of lime juice are very good. I only wanted a few drops, I don't want to open a whole lemon. And that's it. I'm just going to put a lid on that, plug it in, and it'll be ready in about 3 hours time. I'm going to do a bubble and squeak, and it's pretty regular. It starts off a regular bubble and squeak. It's vegetables that we left over from Sunday roast, some roast potatoes, carrots and parsnips. I'm going to do some onion in there as well, and I'll just add in some parsley just to liven it up. Then what I want to do is I'm going to add some smoked salmon to it and then top it with cheese and just flash it in the oven. But basically the bubble and squeak here, which is just a potato and the carrots, if you think about using that as a base, again going back to the pizza idea, top it with some salamis or different types of cheeses, or even some chili as well, pickled chili. So, quick fry off those vegetables. And again, if you had some greens left over, the whole idea of bubble and squeak is it's like using up all your leftovers in the pan, but how can we kind of just jazz it up a little bit? Just add a little bit of butter into it as well, make it rich. Again, this could be a lunchtime snack or an evening snack. And again, if you do have a lot of vegetables left over, rather than wasting it, just make a big pan of this and, shout out to your neighbours, shout out to somebody who'd like it, rather than waste it. A little bit of seasoning, because I'm going to put some smoked salmon in there as well. Right. Good handful of parsley or any fresh herbs that you have. and the smoked salmon. This is the smoked salmon trimmings that you get in the supermarket. This packet was I think about £2.20. I've only used half the packet. So really good value, and it's got lots of flavour. I'm going to switch that off a minute, break down that smoked salmon, get the button through it. And what I'm going to do now is, that there is, I'm going to roughly do this to about 4. I have a scone cutter. Pack it into a scone cutter. Push it down. So you could really push it down firmly into here. You give a quick press with your hands and lift it up. And we're going to repeat the same again. Gently lift that off. In fact, if you had this then topped with a poached egg, it'd be quite delicious with the smoked salmon. Just about enough for this fourth one. And lift the thing off. And then you can top it with a little bit of cheese. You could also then add some Parma ham on top of this as well. Crisp it up in the oven. Just going to pop that into the oven for about 2 minutes just to melt that cheese. So the cheese is melted. And I'm just going to gently lift it underneath and drop it on the plate. And you can still add the poached eggs even if it's got cheese as well. So, a lunchtime snack or a light evening snack. It just kind of smartens up Bubble and Squeak. So again, if you've got any questions or you'd like the recipes or some guidelines or other ideas how you could do that, just drop me an email at mark@chefsonthemove.org. So now I'm going to do you a chickpea curry with some flatbread served on the side. This is a very simple, basic curry. A lot of the food we do is quite simple and straightforward, but just want to really get people going on cooking. So I'm going to heat up some oil. I mean, it's simple. I got 2 tins of tomato, 2 tins of chickpeas, the equivalent of 2 tins of chickpeas. What I actually did was that's dried chickpeas, which are soaked and boiled for about 15 minutes. I prefer using dry because it tastes better, and actually they're also a lot cheaper than the tinned ones as well. And then I got some frozen spinach that I just defrosted and squeezed some of the water from it. And then I've also got 1 cube of vegetable stock that I just chopped down, ready to go in. So, onion and garlic. again. That way I'm going to sweat that off to cook down the onion, bring the flavour out of it. I mean, this is a curry, but if you're not a huge lover of curry, you could use other spices. You could use the Moroccan spices in here either. Again, chickpeas, if you want a nice handy snack, get these, dry them, get a pan, and really hot pan, the smallest amount of oil, like about a quarter teaspoon oil, and just kind of fry them onto it, until they all get really nice and brown, and kind of caramelize the chickpeas, and then leave it to cook, and they're just nice to pick at. But again, with the chickpeas, what we're doing as well, we're adding flavour to it. Chickpeas on their own are they're not the most exciting, but we work with them at adding curry powder, seasoning, tomato. So now just turn it down a bit. So all I did, adding the curry powder in there, kind of cook it out, and it's, you can see the oil is just kind of relatively oily, but it's just really waking up those dry curry spices. And that was 2 heaped tablespoons of a Madras curry powder, a mild one, because I like the mild Madras one because you get more flavour of curry without it being too hot. And in with the chickpeas. And now I'm just going to add in the 2 tins of chopped tomatoes. The vegetable stock cube. I'm now just going to set that to one side and simmer for about 20 minutes. So again, it doesn't take that long. I'll add the spinach just at the last minute because I just want to reheat that spinach. It's nice and green actually. I don't want to lose the colour that is. So I'm going to leave that there for about 10-15 minutes. So for the flatbread to go to chickpea curry, they're really simple to make. I've got 200 grams of wholemeal flour. I'm going to put a pinch of salt in, a little bit of pepper. And I'm going to use about 100 ml of warm water and a little bit of olive oil going through it. The flatbreads are so simple and so nice to make because you can probably get your children actually to make these as well. So all you do is just add the water into it until you get a dough mix. And you can't really bucket this up. So what you want is something like that. Take it out. It's not a dry dough mix. It's not too wet. I'm just going to knead it for a minute. That's just kind of going to work all the liquid into a bit more and get it nice and soft. So I am now going to put this back in the bowl, leave it for about half an hour or so, just to relax, so it'll be easy to work with, and all the protein and all the starch will come together. Right, while the chickpeas are cooking, I'll just put them over there for a moment. We're going to finish off the flatbread that we made earlier on. We just left them resting. So we have it here. I'm just going to cut it up into about 8 sections. I'm only doing it like this so I get a nice even size in each one. Roll them into balls. So just keep shaping them more. And also, if they're not perfect rounds, it's even probably nicer. Now press them out a little bit. Roll them out pretty thin. again, this is something you can get the children to do. It's always good to get children occupied and interested in cooking. Well, these are just basic wholemeal ones. You can use plain flour, but you could actually just start adding some coriander to it. You can add coconut powder to it. Just heating up the pan. Nearly there, just one more to go. So we don't want the pan too hot because we do need to cook these. Paris is asking me why this pan has got no handle. Okay, the handle broke, but the pan is very good. I'm just going to fry those off. I cooked 4 and I just changed the oil in the pan because it just started to burn because of the bits of flour. It's like the flatbread, it's the brown and the blister. Turn them over to check, see how they're doing in this option. We should flip these back again. I've also been adding in a little bit of veggie butter, just give more moisture. See whether that starts to brown. We're going to just keep these warm until the chickpea is ready because it's almost ready. We're just going to go check that now in a minute. Right, so we're just going to finish off the chickpea curry. I got some chopped spinach. It's the frozen spinach that I was talking about earlier on. I'm going to work that through. At home, this is actually not just vegetarian, but it's also vegan, and which makes it dairy-free. You could add at this stage some yogurt or some coconut milk. I'm going to add a few dashes of lime juice because it's going to bring out the curry flavours. It actually lifts it and lightens it up a little bit. Just check it for seasoning. And this is 3 generous portions in here, probably maybe 4 smallish portions, and it's going to work out if it's 4 portions. This is about 50p a portion. The chickpeas are just ridiculously good value. And put it into a bowl. So that's what I'm considering. Okay, that is a generous quarter. A little bit of coriander and some flatbread to finish it off. So it's the chickpea and spinach curry. Hope you enjoy it. Right, so the chicken is done. It's been on now for about just over 4 hours, and it smells really good. So all the tomato ketchup and the spices are actually kind of gone really nice and dark. I'm going to bring out 2 of the chicken thighs. While on some of these courses we were doing lots of spicy food, while this has got the ketchup and some soy sauce and honey, it's not spicy. So children definitely enjoy this. So I hope you've enjoyed what we've been doing on our series, and again you've found some very useful tips. I think there's some more plans with Nina and National Lottery to do some more of these in the near future, and hopefully by the end of the year we'll be back in the hall doing some live cookery demonstrations as well. So if you've got any messages or any questions for me, just drop me an email on mark@chefsonthemove.org. Thank you.